everybody. Welcome to Impossible Coin, where you can't experience it, but we experienced it. We started over a full hour late today because I fell into a hole of shopping for Tegan's keyboard.
Yay!
Brian falls into a lot of holes.
Ryan did the work, so I didn't have to. 10 out of 10, I highly recommend that service. If you have keyboard questions, direct them at Brian and make him look stuff up for you.
Remember, it's at SemiFakeGods on Twitter, or you can just go to the Impossible Coin Twitter, at Impossible Coin.
Or you can use hashtag ostrich keyboards, and I'll peck away and find your answer.
Oh
I swear to God, Brian, if people tweet that and you never look for them, I'm going to be angry about it.
I will check the fucking hashtag.
Please check the hashtag and respond to everything that's already in there as well.
Yes.
I will set a fucking Twitter alert. When I die, I'll sit there and I'll go, ostrich keyboards, because I'm abandoning my responsibility to the masses.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's how we'll tweet about your death. We'll be like, please stop using the hashtag ostrich keyboards because Brian is no longer able to respond to your tweets.
If you actually do that, that'll probably legitimately fuck people up because they know what it means. I'm like, oh no. Just like,
That's even better.
Luckily, the hashtag is currently blank.
good. There was something I tweeted within the last week, which I also want to make sure happens. I tweeted the song Fuck the Pain Away by Peaches.
Yeah, the song slaps.
Yes, and I said, please play this song at my funeral.
Oh, fuck. Just remember Tannis in that dress? That makes sense to me. I totally understand.
Yeah.
We're going to have to remember that. Did you let Beth know or no?
Yes, it's very important. I said, I do not need to be buried in a Kiss casket, but I do need Fuck the Pain Away by Peaches played.
Okay, that's fair.
Although, like, the novelty kit... All right. First of all, I'm doing a terrible job of, housekeeping here. That's a Rocky Hardy. He doesn't need a new keyboard because he just got one.
It's true, I did.
Yeah.
You did? Wait, you got a new keyboard too?
Well, I got a whole new computer.
I
bought
didn't
a keyboard
know. I didn't know keyboards came with computers. My bad.
No. I built a box. Well, actually, the Hennessy literally built it. He just came over. He did some friend homie work. But I also purchased a keyboard and a monitor and a box. And that's my new setup.
I see. Did you cook him a snack?
No, but we got sandwiches from one of our favorite sandwich spots that we used to frequent pretty often, Jason's Deli. It's a good time. I think I had the muffaletta. He had the Reuben.
Okay. There was also food compensation, though, so that's
Of
important.
course.
Okay.
And Tegan Summer said, let the record reflect
Yes.
that shortly before we began this podcast, I asked Rocky Hardy what type of switches were inside his keyboard since he literally just got the fucking thing.
Yes.
And he don't know.
That's true, I don't.
He don't know.
I don't know anything. I didn't know that switches were important, and then I was trying to buy a keyboard, and I went, oh no! Stuff's hard. Just buy 2 of whatever keyboard you're currently using so that when they discontinue your keyboard and your keyboard eventually breaks, you just have another one ready. That's Tegan's hot strat. Because that's what happened to me.
Honestly, just do 20 minutes of research and then go with your gut. And if it doesn't work out, learn from the experience.
Buy the keyboard you think is pretty.
That is...
From a scam person on Amazon, which is what I almost did. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at shopping. It's amazing that I'm able to purchase things from China, no problem, but I can't get a keyboard in the United States. Jesus.
Oh, that reminds me, I gotta go get groceries. I think I gotta buy a new wok.
Mm.
I'm not gonna buy a new wok yet.
Yeah.
Wait, no, hold on. Guys, we're getting off topic. We're here. There's a thing we're supposed to be doing. What are we supposed to be doing?
Game of the year.
That's it. That's the one where we talk about... Let me check my notes here.
I mean, I can make the short version is we're talking about games that came out in this past calendar year.
Okay.
According to what I have here, it says Game of the Year, week 4, this is the week that the 3 of you shall ceaselessly argue about what scene in a video game represented the most emotional intensity. You will talk about it for 5 hours, at which point Brian will go to the tallest parking garage in town and stop answering ostrich keyboard questions.
No, that was last year. This year, we're just talking about our favorite games. Oh, do you also have those notes? Fuck.
I don't have those notes. I don't know where they came from.
Shoot. I was really concerned that I missed a memo. I thought my Google Doc hadn't updated correctly. I was really worried for a second.
Oh my god. Okay, wait, no, hold on. Wait, are we on week 4? That's not real, right?
No, that's real.
I thought, wait, no, we did Resident Games. It took forever. That was week 2.
That was week 2, and part 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah, okay, but no, we're doing top 5s. This week's top 5s.
Yeah, this week's top 5s.
Okay.
Next week is when we argue until you throw yourself off a building, Brian.
Oh god, that better not take 5 hours, I swear to god.
It better not take 5 hours, because I'm going to take a nap in the middle of it at that point. I'm just going to be like, you guys fight it out and let me know when it's my turn.
I just don't see it happening.
Oh my god.
I mean, I need to go and, like, add some stuff to the list, but I don't know. I feel like just based on, like, the spirit and, like, the way that this year's been executed, like, there was something that Rocky talked about, you know, during Resident Games, which was Yakuza Like a Dragon. And I said, dude, that needs to be represented in the list for week 4 because it sounds like it needs to make our top 10, just based on what you're describing.
Brian, I think you're talking about Crosscode.
Okay, Crosscode. Point stands. I was like, you know, this needs to be on the list. If it's not on the list, then like we're not doing our best job.
You're doing a disservice.
We're doing a disservice.
Those are the words.
I'm very good at English.
Like I see Among Us is down there, and I think that like last year's like Virgin Nerd podcast were like, oh, excuse me, guys, Among Us technically entered full release in 2018, and like now our powerful Chad podcast would say.
I can't believe it's evolved into a Chad.
Honestly, I think that last year's podcast wasn't the Virgin Nerd podcast, but more of like the Plastics podcast.
Oh my god, You're right. It was original Plastics.
If we were to talk about Among Us last year, even before it got big, we would have been like, well, Among Us can't sit with us. Okay? Like,
yeah.
Like, today's Wednesday, you're wearing sweatpants 2 years in a row, and you're not wearing pink. You can't sit with us.
No.
Oh, I miss Mean Girls. Is that bad?
No, Mean Girls is dope.
God,
I haven't watched the musical, but, like, I hear it's pretty good.
I've heard a lot of music from the musical, but I haven't seen the actual musical because I'm not a good pirate. I don't know if I'm not good at lying, and I'm not a good pirate, so
That's cool.
I'm not good at stealing things.
Stealing things is easy. Most of the time, people don't even notice. They don't even care.
I mean, all I know is that the best place to see Broadway musicals without authorization is no longer the best place to see Broadway musicals without authorization.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Rip to the hub.
Well, it's true. I mean, but they were trying to preserve their position, you know, because basically every government on Earth was coming for them.
Yeah, right. That's kind of lit.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we got a choice to make. Continue to be in the top 10 most traveled websites on the internet, or become a smoldering pile of rubble.
Yeah.
So.
What'd they pick?
Pornhub is still up, Tegan.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch porn. I don't know these things. I don't watch porn. I do what most girls do, and I read porn.
Fair enough.
AO3's doing fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
So we're doing top 5s. Top 5s are a lot more restrained than the other thing. We're definitely supposed to gush about the games that we found important in this past calendar year, but this is supposed to be a much more digestible piece of media.
Yeah.
If I did my math right, our Resident Games episodes ended up being about 7 hours in 2 parts.
Oof. Sorry.
That will not happen with this. I refuse.
To be fair, I have gotten feedback from exactly one person that said that our Resident Games Part 1 was exactly the right length. So,
Gang, actually, that is I'm taking that compliment personally.
Yeah, please do.
I'm going to keep that close to my heart. Oh my god.
So there you go.
Yeah. But this is different. This is for people who don't know us, that are unwilling to trust a stranger with 7 hours of their life. I understand. So we're going to do something that talks about the games that we found important to us this past year in a digestible and familiar format.
Yep.
What's the format?
One other thing that we've decided to do with the format, which people thought maybe might be like a weird or a strange choice, is that in between each one of our presentations of our top fives, I will clear the air and provide kind of like a digestif, which will be, I will read an important quote by Mayor Vaughn from the film Jaws.
Oh my god.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is this like you're supposed to smell coffee beans between, what is it? You're supposed to smell coffee beans in between smelling different perfumes so that your, like, nasal palate is clear?
I think that's it.
Do you have no idea what I'm talking about?
I've never heard that before, but it makes sense.
Oh, yeah, okay. Maybe it's just
out.
girl advice.
Oh, man. Well, now I know what I'm going to do when I actually get into cologne shopping, I guess. Fuck. Coffee beans? Coffee beans.
Coffee beans, roasted coffee beans, because they have a good smell.
Do I just, like, buy a bag before I go? Or, like, do they have them
think
at the store?
No, they don't typically have them at the store. In my experience, you have to, like, bring your own.
Okay.
But don't be weird about sniffing them. Just
I'm gonna try, Tegan, but, I don't have... I don't...
Get a ring box. Empty out the ring box. Open it up between sniffs of stuff, and that's where your coffee beans are.
Tegan, I want you to look me in the eye and tell me that's not weird.
Maybe it's not weird because, like, that's what my mom would do, but, like, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe my mom's weird. Who knows?
Who knows, man? Okay.
She's a nurse. I think she knows what she's doing.
I'm not saying it's not efficient. I'm not even saying that it's not practical. I'm just trying to pin down that this is probably weird. I'm pretty sure it's weird. But...
Listeners, is it weird? Let me know.
Vote now on your phone.
Oh, someone like me on Twitter.
So make yourself a beverage, relax, kick your feet up, and maybe put on just, real softly in the background that mashup of WAP and The Devil Went Down to Georgia that was so hot this year.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a real good ass mashup. Yeah.
Okay, so to give Brian a little bit of time to prepare his digestif, I will go first.
Fantastic.
Cool. Thanks for going first, because I don't understand. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how this is gonna work. So okay. I need an example.
So this is what I'm going to do. I have a timer next to me. It's set for 5 minutes. I'm going to press it when I begin talking about my first game, which is Yakuza Like a Dragon. So I'm just going to count myself down real quick. 3, 2, 1. All right, so guys, number 5 on my top 5 games of this year was called Yakuza Like a Dragon. It is a spin-off of the Yakuza series that stars a new character, Ichiban Kasuga. Yakuza as a series is a largely dramatic game that prioritizes comedy and mixed in with intense dramatic emotion, but historically it is an action game. Yakuza Like a Dragon bucks this trend by creating a turn-based RPG instead. Some people may be looking at them and say, hey, turn-based RPGs are lame. Don't only nerds play those? Yes. Also shut the fuck up. But this game, Yakuza Like a Dragon, learns all the best lessons from turn-based RPGs. It keeps things moving on screen, it simplifies its actions, it gives you things to do while animations are going off in the form of action commands, and it feels good to play and interact with. And the inherent silliness of Yakuza Like a Dragon further enforces its gameplay loop. The story follows Ichiban Kasuga, who is a low-level grunt in a non-central Yakuza family, who takes the fall for one of his co-workers and goes to jail for 18 years, near the beginning of the millennium, I think 2000, 2001. He comes back out closer to the present day, where the world has changed completely. There are smartphones and, the internet. And he is now essentially a homeless ex-convict that is now re-entered into the world. And when he tries to rejoin his Yakuza family, his patriarch shoots him in the chest and leaves him for dead. After that, you spend the rest of your game making friends with other seemingly useless derelicts that try to string together a story that challenges the criminal underworld, but also the pristine government officials that try to make everything work for everyone. It's a really cool game, and it's full of tiny micro experiences like collecting cans while racing other homeless people and racing go-karts. and, watching classic movies. It's really fun. It's really funny. And everyone should really give it a shot. I just realized that was nowhere close to 5 minutes. That was 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Does anyone have any questions about Yakuza Like a Dragon?
What was your favorite part?
Ooh.
If you had to pick the one scene, the one thing that you did in this game to convince other people to play it, what was it?
Okay, so there's a moment pretty early in the story after you've been abandoned and left for dead, and you have gathered together your party, or the initial party, which is a ex-cop, ex-driving instructor, an ex-nurse posing as a homeless man, and a cocktail bar hostess. You are now challenging the local Yakuza family in this town that you've been dropped in, and you're fighting your way out of the sewers after being captured by a rival Chinese gang, the Luomang. As you get closer to the edge of the sewer level, you end up finding one Yakuza leader who apparently has a mechanical crane underground that is trying to kill you. So your boss fight, your turn-based boss fight, is the four of you fighting this man in this mechanical crane. And the game has, quote, magic, but it, plays out in, elemental damage, like flamethrowers and, taser guns. And I was able to overwhelm this fucking crane with my taser gun character to knock him out of the thing where my group of people jumped him. It was probably one of the best 10 minutes I've played this year.
Honestly, elemental damage in the form of a taser gun is great.
Right.
That just sounds like the ideal scenario.
It's really cool. It's a really fun game.
It turns out if you have a taser, you can now do electricity damage. Wow. Like a lightning storm to someone's ballsack.
True. And that's my time. Brian, do you have our digestive?
It comes after you're done with your list of 5.
Oh, the whole 5? Oh, okay.
Yes,
So I'm just doing all 5 by myself.
Oh, it's a flavor refresh because all of our lists are... Well, how's that going to work when some of us have overlap?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, but I will roll with it for the time being.
Okay.
I've reset my timer. My next game is going to be Paper Mario: The Origami King. And here I go. So, Paper Mario: The Origami King, which was released on Nintendo Switch earlier this year, is a return to form for the Paper Mario series. It definitely changed some things. It's no longer an RPG like its original classics, Paper Mario 64 and Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, but instead is an action-adventure game with instant turn-based battles. And that does sound strange, and that's because it is, but in Paper Mario: The Origami King, the story is light. There is a prince of origami named Ori who has taken over Paper Mario Kingdom and has folded various members of the Mushroom Kingdom and has bent them to their will. There is actually a particularly excellent scene where you enter Peach's castle and you meet a folded Peach, and she speaks to you as if she has been indoctrinated into a cult and asks you if you're prepared to be folded. But after you escape, you find that Peach's castle, as well as several parts of the Mushroom Kingdom, are wrapped in elaborate streamers that are spread across the land, and you travel with Ori's sister, Olivia, to unwrap the streamers that are guarded by Ori's various, stationary goons. The game itself is best when you don't take it too seriously, and that's probably one of my favorite things about it. The game is funny, it is light, it sings, it dances, it is bright and colorful, it makes jokes at the drop of a hat. While some people may remember Paper Mario for the intense emotional connections that they've made with certain partners, which do also exist in this game, or even the crazy battle situations that they played their way out of, or the setups that they were able to build over time. This game is much more about the gentle interactions with characters. Some of my favorite moments in Paper Mario: The Origami King isn't when necessarily you're exploring battles or cutscenes with particular characters, but the moments of respite where you find the secret Koopa coffee shops where you get to sit down for a moment and watch Bowser's minions interact in their natural habitat. Or when you come across these creatures called the elementals, which are giant origami creatures that represent elemental power that Oli is able to manifest on your behalf. And that stuff is fun. One thing that's core to the game is its battle system, which plays out on a stage like many other Mario and Paper Mario entries, but uses a system called the ring system, where you manage concentric rings to line up your opponents to defeat them, and in boss battles, arrange them in a path that allows you to attack a vulnerable point of your enemy. These things are complicated, but they are rewarding in my experience. And there are a lot of ways to acclimate yourself to them, but there isn't really a way around them. One of the things that I would caution people that are interested in this game, whether they're new or experienced with the series, is that you be open to buying into the systems that it's presenting, because it will reward you for that effort. But trying to find a way around them is only going to lead to frustration. In addition to that, the game's characters, as they come and go, as they play out their scenes and interact in these spaces, is a bright and colorful adventure. And there's a lot of tiny, quiet, and serene moments that the game has to offer that I would implore you to take advantage of. For the people that are concerned about the pedigree of Paper Mario, of what it was before, there are other games that are filling that niche. But I assure you that Paper Mario the Origami King is not one of them.
Huh.
Any questions about Paper Mario the Origami King?
Will it kick me in the balls?
Yeah. But only once or twice, if we're being honest.
Is it a good kick in the balls? I don't know if that's a thing.
It's definitely not, pleasant or fetishistic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to excite masochists, but it's more of a good punch in an action movie.
Gotcha. So even if you're ooh, that hurt, it's a good, ooh, that hurt.
Yeah, let me get back in there.
I gotcha.
So the next game on my list is Bug Fables. Bug Fables is the spiritual successor to the OG Paper Mario series. It is made by Moonsprout Games, a team that has no connection to Nintendo nor Intelligent Systems. They are simply fans of the genre that sought to create their own game that is a love letter to the ideas presented in the early Paper Mario series. It stars 3 bug characters, a horned beetle, a bee, and a cricket, that are trying to be the best adventurers in Bulgaria. The game uses the paper aesthetic for its art style. It doesn't use it for much else. So people who are looking for these bugs to fold into paper planes or roll into paper tubes are probably going to be disappointed. But the game offers a variety of interesting and deep experiences in and out of combat. Combat is an evolution of the idea presented in Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door. You have 3 party members instead of 2. They all have their unique health pools and unique abilities and progression paths. But there's also a neat positional system and a way to share your actions that allow unique strategic ideas. And the badge system is not only preserved, but actually escalated in different ways, which is also really cool. So it lends itself to, familiar strategies of the past, but room for new strategies that weren't really possible in the older games. The story itself is serviceable. I think the writing is very funny. I don't think it hits some of the emotional notes like Bobbery losing his wife, but it definitely has emotional arcs for the characters and allows them to grow as characters in their own right. There are also a series of side quests and mini games and things for you to explore, like building the perfect deck of cards to win in your competitive card game, or trying to save the failing musical theater in the hometown, or just trying to collect all the songs from the soundtrack as you go by, or piss off the aspiring ant idol that seems to try to foil you at every turn. It's a fun game, and it's worth a good couple of laughs. For people who have been wanting to see something in the vein of Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door, this is it. It's fucking Bug Fables. Have fucking fun with it. And the success of this game is probably going to embolden other people that have projects in the works that are trying to develop in that same space. Bug Fables is definitely something that you want to watch, even if you aren't sure about diving in. But if you're just on the fence, definitely tip over. It's a good time. Any questions on Bug Fables? Yes, Brian, Bug Fables may kick you in the balls, but only if you ask it to.
Okay. Are there a lot of puns?
There are puns. I'm not sure if I'd say there are a lot.
Is it like an appropriate number or is it a cringeworthy number?
It is not a cringeworthy number of puns.
Okay.
It may be a little bit more than appropriate, depending on your mileage.
I enjoy puns, so this will be fine.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? I literally have a minute. I'm just hanging out with my friends, talking about video games.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm just like, this like weird countdown format is...
Honestly, it sounds like fun.
Okay, I'm just going to stop it.
All right.
I don't have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, I think if you're done, you're done, sort of deal.
True. Okay. And my next one is Hades. So Hades, everyone loves Hades. Hades is the darling of this year. I'm not sure if I'm willing to call it the indie darling at this point, given their financial backing. But, you know, everyone loves Hades. And for good reason. It's a very good video game. It's beautiful, it sounds great, and it plays incredibly well. It's been tuned almost ceaselessly since it entered early access on the Epic Game Store. And when it hit the wild, it took over the world by storm. It introduced a new character to the Greek pantheon, Zagreus, but also made faithful representations of the characters and their personalities that already existed. It takes the idea of roguelike and strips away a lot of the noise and the painful edges of it and gives you a smooth, continuous experience. Everyone that is curious about video games, like Hades might be my new video game to introduce people to video games with. When they're not sure about video games, when they don't believe in their potential, I would show them Hades. I'd give them time to sit with it and ask them how they felt. And Hades does so much to offer options to the player, but also reward you for time spent. And while I can't say that amount is infinite, it's pretty damn close. Every time that I touch the game, there are new questions and new things I want to explore, and I'm not sure if I'll ever really get tired of it. Hades is a bright spot in an industry that consistently fails players and the people that make the games that they play. I am very happy that I've been able to touch it in my lifetime.
That is very high praise.
I try. I don't think I have anything else to say about it. Okay, so the last game on my list is Crosscode. So Crosscode is a video game that also left early access this year. Technically, it's been in development in early access for about 5 years now, and it shows. Crosscode is a video game that's an action RPG that's set in a world where there's an MMO. You play as Lee, who is an artificial intelligence injected into the game by a former employee who's trying to find out what happened to their friends who disappeared a couple years ago. Once in the game, you masquerade as a player. You meet other players, you form friendships, you fight enemies and clear dungeons. The gameplay is incredibly simple, actually. It starts off with you are able to hit things and shoot things. And at first it looks like all you do is use that to fight enemies, but you also use it to solve puzzles. And the puzzles and the enemies continue to get intricate, but they respond to your very simple toolkit. It's a really rewarding dynamic. I'm not sure why it isn't more popular. The game is well written. It has an incredible soundtrack. I bought it on vinyl. It is very pretty, and it uses pixel art arguably to its full potential. And I know that there are so many games and so many iterations of pixel art, and I feel like this is actually my favorite. Its use of color and patterns breathes life into worlds that could have been flat if they were made by just about anyone else. Played this game almost nonstop. I think I put about 60 some hours into it, and I don't think I really had a moment to really put it down. I loved interacting with the dungeons. Every time I solved a puzzle, I felt like a genius. Every time I fought a new boss or talked to a new person, I laughed and I felt lighter than I've ever been in a long time. I'm really glad that I got to play this game. I hope that you get a chance to play it too. I do know it's on Xbox Game Pass, which is probably the lowest barrier entry that exists. But however you decide to touch it, I hope you spend time with it and have as much fun as I did. That's my top 5. Yakuza Like a Dragon, Paper Mario the Origami King, Bug Fables, Hades, and Crosscode. I'm Rocky Hardy, and I approve this message.
I don't think you appreciate the gut reaction people have to these things, Martin. It's all psychological. You yell barracuda, everybody says, huh? What? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
I mean, to be fair, they probably should have had that panic. Like, that was more than a shark. That was a very large shark, if I do remember correctly.
It was a very large shark.
He was quite big. Quite a beefy boy.
Alright, so what are we doing here? Is Tegan going to do her list? Is Brian going to do his? Or maybe Brian should go last, so this is podcast.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I guess it's dealer's choice then, Brian. Podcast Dad's choice.
Mm-hmm.
Now time for Tegan's top 5. I look forward to hearing about Tegan's top 5 favorite video games.
Yay! My top 5 video games. This is great. Everybody's gonna love it. Okay, so my number 5 video game of the year is reading some books. And I don't care what books you read, you gotta read them. Help keep your mind sharp. Help keep the punches rolling. I read a bunch of games. Or I read a bunch of books. And I also read a bunch of books about video games. Like, that's okay. This year, I picked up The Legend of Zelda and Philosophy, which is a bunch of grad student essays that are focused on The Legend of Zelda and explore different philosophical ideas. And that was a fun read.
For sure.
There's a whole bunch of franchise and philosophy books. There's Doctor Who, there's Star Wars, there's like, is there a fandom? There's probably a philosophy series on it. You should check them out. They're kind of interesting. So yeah, that's my top 5 game of the year. If you like games that have a lot of dialogue options that you gotta read through, might I recommend reading a book.
God damn it.
Any questions about reading books?
100% got me. How did I not see this coming?
I don't know how you didn't. I mean, if I didn't have any top 5 games, I was just gonna list every book in the first Percy Jackson series, so like... There are 5 books in that series. I read them all in about a month and a half.
Oh my god, for sure.
Brian, any questions on reading books?
Well played, Tegan. Well played.
Thanks. I did it. Okay, to be fair, I did say this many times. I did not play a lot of video games this year.
To be fair.
Because, yes, to be fair. I did give you fair warning throughout the year by saying, I'm not playing anything right now. I'm reading the Percy Jackson books. So that's my first recommendation. It's always good to read. You know, reading's important. And you don't have to read the news. And you don't have to read Twitter. And sometimes, like, you don't have to read books built towards your actual age. You know, because, like, Percy Jackson is definitely in the children's section. And I am definitely 32. So sometimes you can just read stuff for fun. It's fine. Anyway. You read whatever you want. No one cares. If you're a kid, though, hi, yeah, this is a cool podcast for adults. If you're a child and you want to read a book that is definitely in the, like, adult section, maybe go over that with your parent or guardian first, just in case. I know school is going to make you read, like, 1984 and The Great Gatsby and, like, maybe Pride and Prejudice, and, like, that's not always fun, and I get that. So, like, make sure you're counterbalancing that with something that's fun to read. Read 30 different fan fictions on AO3. Who cares? Sometimes you don't have the mental capacity to invest yourself in another world, a brand new world, because, like, there's too much going on. So, like, read that YouTuber fan fiction, or whatever the fuck. Who cares? No, you're not hurting anybody. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I hear that, the Rudy Giuliani enjoys the Game of Thrones.
Oh my god.
They can't,
Can't wait to see Rudy Giuliani on Elden Ring whenever that comes out.
God, disgusting, absolutely not. If he is on Elden Ring, I will personally murder George R. R. Martin myself. For legal reasons, that is also a joke. I don't have that capacity inside me. I can't kill a bug. I can't play Bug Snacks. I can't kill bugs.
You don't kill bugs in Bug Snacks.
Oh, cool. Never mind. I can snack bugs.
Oh, okay. Then I won't say anything. Shit.
What?
I guess I get. God damn it. Never mind. Pretend I didn't
Reading,
go.
Okay, sure. Number 5, reading books. All right. Number 4. My number 4 video game recommendation of the year is The Ghost of Tsushima. Mm-hmm. The Ghost of Tsushima is a Japanese samurai movie that has been transposed into the video game world. It is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. So that is kind of like a high bar of entry, but if you have access to a PlayStation 4, you should definitely pick up this game. It's an open world samurai game following the character of Jin Sakai as he basically learns how to be a ninja in a time where the ninja lifestyle is considered a direct assault on the samurai code. And it's very beautiful and very calm in a very tumultuous time within the game's universe. And also actual Japanese history. But, you know, you are fighting the Mongols during their invasion of Japan, which is a thing that happened. They don't die in the hurricane this time. This is the part where they actually come ashore and fight for a while and then die in a hurricane later. But we don't get to that part. You are working to restore honor to your family, to reinstate your clan head, and to protect all of Japan as one dude who eventually puts together an army. And if that isn't analogous after what happened at the capital and what people tried to do at the capital, like, you can compare them to the Mongols just fine, honestly, and it will help. Also, they've updated the game where you don't have to kill the dogs anymore. You can pet them and make them your friends so they won't attack you even if the Mongols ask them to attack you. So that is a quality of life improvement that I'm sharing with you here so that you don't have to worry about hurting dogs. You get to write poetry, you get to stare at sunsets, and you get to maybe find out how to love yourself. And that's my recommendation. It's smooth, it's beautiful, it is a samurai movie as a video game. Any questions on Ghost of Tsushima? It'll make you want to go to Japan. But for different reasons than anime make you want to go to Japan.
True.
You know? Or maybe that's just me. No. Okay.
No questions.
No questions. Excellent pitch. 10 out of 10. Would play a video game. All right. My number 3 pick for Game of the Year is Hades. So Rocky told you all about the gameplay and the greatness that is. I got into Percy Jackson this year. If you like the Percy Jackson series, if you enjoy Lore Olympus, I highly recommend checking out this game. It's really fun seeing this particular interpretation of the different levels of the underworld itself. The character iterations between the different gods and demigods is very fun. Seeing how Achilles and Patroclus sort of interact in the underworld after their time on the mortal plane is over is very cool. All of the art is very, very, very thirsty in the same way that, like, Greek statues are very thirsty without being thirsty at all. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. They're beautiful. And the character interactions are all great. The storyline's really fun. And I don't like roguelikes, and I really enjoyed this game. Hey, Hades. Any questions about Hades? No.
Who's your favorite deity?
Dionysus.
Gang. Dionysus.
Dionysus is great. He's so funny.
I actually know a guy that talks like Dionysus.
What?
Yeah, I do. He actually worships Dionysus. That's a whole other thing. We'll get to some other day.
Oh.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that. So our favorite boons, which are like the buffs you got from the gods, Alex and my favorite boons came from Athena for the most part. I also enjoyed Poseidon's boons.
True.
Mostly because they were like AoE push away sort of things, and that like jives more with my particular playstyle. But just talking to Dionysus was really, really fun. The funniest character, though, is Hermes. Hermes is the funniest character. Everything just has that little bit of fucking shade that tells you, like, he's fucking done with this job. It's so good.
For sure.
He's like, I actually have a great relationship with death. I don't know why everybody's always fighting up here. And you're just like, is there tea? Hermes, there's tea. And he'll, like, buzz by. And you're just like, what? Good times. Good times all around. Anything else? No?
No. No questions.
Brian, any questions?
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. My number 2 game of the year, and I'm really upset that this didn't make Rocky's list personally. My number 2 game of the year is Spiritfarer. Spiritfarer is another game that is quiet. It is gentle, and it is entirely about loss. Loss of people you care deeply about. There is a character in this game for everyone. You will see someone you know, someone you miss in this game. And it will help you, well, at least it helped me, be more at ease about everything about that. It kind of, like, gave me closure in a way that some of these relationships for me that I don't think I would have gotten any other way without a lot more time. You play as Stella and her cat, and your job is exactly what it says on the tin. You drive the boat to help some spirits fulfill their last requirements before they can move on at the Everdoor. You will cry at least once, and that is okay. You should feel comfortable enough to let those emotions out. And if you cry at every character, that's fine. And if you only cry at the very last character, that's also fine. It's very good. It's very nice. And it's a lot of fun building your ship and customizing the way it goes. And if you aren't ready for it to end, it doesn't have to end. You can sort of sail on until you are also ready to let the game go. And I think with the last year we've had, that's very important. This game is available on Xbox Game Pass, it's available on the PlayStation Store, and it's available in the Nintendo Switch eShop. It is only digital currently, but also I've heard rumblings that limited run games may do a limited run physical release. So, that's number 2. Yeah. And questions on Spiritfarer?
Oh, I think I can give you a heads up, which is that Jeremy Parrish, who is the official game historian who works for Limited Run, does their archival stuff for them, recently interviewed the devs for Spiritfarer.
Ooh, okay.
So that seems to point to Limited Run doing a release.
I will definitely pick it up from Limited Run as a physical release. I will absolutely pick it up from Limited Run as a physical release. I'm excited. It's a good game. I'm glad my rumblings weren't just fake. That makes me happy. Anyway, on to my number 1. My number 1, my top video game recommendation for 2020. Number 1, numero uno, I sunk literally hundreds of hours. I played over 300 days consecutively in this game. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Animal Crossing I did everything. I didn't do everything. That's a lie. I only have a 3-star island still. That's okay. You don't have to have a 5-star island. You don't have to do anything. You just leave all your worries behind and you fly to an island in the middle of nowhere and you hang out with the Nooklings and Nook himself and your 2 friends who come with you on this weird, wild adventure as you design and set up your own new island. You get to choose where everybody lives. You can move their houses whenever you want. You pick where the museum goes. You pick where the shops go. The only thing you cannot move so far is your island centralized location and the airport location, which is fine, I think. You can completely reshape your island eventually. You don't like where the rivers are. That's cool. You just can't change where they empty out into the ocean. You want to move the mountains? Go ahead. You want it all flat? Go for it. It doesn't matter. There's seasonal events. There's continuing free updates. Like right now we got Christmas, we've got Thanksgiving. There was a New Year's event. Our favorite Peacock companion is going to be coming back for his fake Mardi Gras event, which is going to be a good time. You know, we're going to be going back into spring. It changes in real time. The weather doesn't always match what's actually outside your window, and sometimes that's kind of nice, you know? It's got good ambient noise. It's got filling your museum is fun. If you're looking for something to just kind of chill with, if you're the kind of person who plays like Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon simply as a distraction and not for like the actual plot lines or whatever, just because they're fun games, like, you should play this game. It's good. It's soft. It's gentle. It's kind. And it offers a sense of companionship in a time when we cannot necessarily be physically near those who are important to us. I'm making all my games sad. Animal Crossing's fun. It's cute. Like, it's hanging out with all your favorite stuffed animal friends. You get to dress them up in different outfits by giving them stuff. It's fine. Like, it's not a sad game. It's a fun game. It's a happy game. Any questions? Any questions on Animal Crossing? It's really easy. Like, no sweat. You want to feel all the joys of paying off a home loan when you can't pay anything else, you know? You can do that. You can do that very easily in Animal Crossing.
It's true.
Very fun. And if there are no questions, those are my top 5 games. Reading books, The Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Spiritfarer, and Animal Crossing at the top.
Look, fellas, let's be reasonable, huh? This is not the time or place to perform some kind of half-assed autopsy on a fish. I'm not going to stand here and see that thing cut open and see the little Kintner boy spill out over the dock.
Was this mayor a dumbass?
He was a dumbass.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Very famously.
Very famously a dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I never saw Jaws because it looked too scary.
Holy shit. Coming
2021?
almost immediately.
Coming 2021, Brian forces Tegan to watch Jaws because she said she'd never seen it.
Right.
All right. I mean, first of all, Tegan, Jaws is PG. You'll be fine.
There's big scary fish, though. Okay, to be fair, Titanic is PG-13. And that's because there's a sex scene. And people die, I guess, but, you know.
Yeah, I do believe you are blushing, Mr. Big Artiste. Rated PG-13 for having Billy Zane in it.
Fucking Billy Zane.
Fucking Billy Zane. Get your head out of your ass. Here's the part where I reveal the secret ploy, which was to warm up the crowd with shark quotes because of my number 5, Maneater.
Ah, it all makes sense now. Damn, we fell for the ploy without being in on the joke.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Maneater is something which I've been asking for a lot more in the last several years of gaming. I have asked for the video game industry to give me smaller open worlds, to give me maps which are unlittered with trash. Give me considered design decision. I don't want you to tell me to go to a place because it exists. I want you to tell me to go to a place because you thought about it and because it's interesting. And that's something which Maneater does. There's nothing really in the space which has been designed which feels slapdash or add-on or superlative in a way which feels like just throwing a pack of gum in the checkout line at the grocery store. This is not throwing People magazine in a cart because you're fidgeting. Everything that is in Maneater is there for a purpose. And what Maneater has on offer is a system of growing and developing your character in a way that makes the power fantasy of an open world game feel deeply satisfying. Controlling the evolution of your shark and adding more and more silly, ridiculous features to him feels good as you wade into progressive boss battles with an increasingly overpowered shark. It feels silly. It feels dumb. That silly, dumb power fantasy is definitely enhanced and definitely made better by something which I know I've talked about multiple times on the show, which is the absolutely delightful and absolutely hilarious commentary which is offered throughout the game by the narrator, who presents the entire open world adventure as if it was Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. It's fucking great. The various sights and sounds of the space which are offered give us the kind of clever riffs on a modern Americana that the Hauser brothers think that they're offering with Grand Theft Auto. Oftentimes, Grand Theft Auto tries to make some kind of social commentary, but it comes off very half-assed, very unconsidered, and ultimately very juvenile. Maneater thinks America is, for the most part, dumb, but does find some things about it which are ultimately lovable and worth eating as a powerful shark. Something else which is worth noting about it is that the map design is very, very good. The way the entire world fits together has to make sense because of the way the mobility works in the game, being underwater. It feels good to swim as this shark. When you kill things, the visceral sense of tearing apart works well. jumping out of the water, grabbing somebody who's fishing on the shore and pulling them under the water never failed to make me giggle. It was fucking funny every time. And even better, this game didn't overstay its welcome. I explored what felt like a large and satisfying open world and banged my head against that kind of like Final Fantasy fuck you level boss, which was the killer whale at the SeaWorld kind of joke place, over and over in about the space of 35-ish hours. Which meant that, like, at no point did this game feel like it overstayed its welcome. You know, everything it showed me, whether it was the bayou airboat hunters, idiot tourists, the characters who are obviously supposed to be, like, representation of, like, casual dumb racists that didn't let me eat, all of this stuff, an incredible wide variety of content, was fit within 35 hours. The art style is bright and colorful. It feels like the art style of Nintendo run through the cheekiness of like early 90s Nickelodeon with its tongue firmly in its cheek. Maneater is a good-ass time, and it is a good-ass time for people who want open worlds, but open worlds that are respectful of them and respectful of what that type of game experience can be.
And that's number 5.
Yep.
Oh, dear. So this list is only going up.
One would say so.
I would like to see it.
Well, if you'd like to see it, Rocky, then I might suggest diving headlong into 8800 Blue Lick Road. When Rocky told me to spend time taking a virtual online tour for a house, I thought that Rocky was clowning on me, and for that, I was wrong. 8800 Blue Lick Road was a positive way to see all the hooks which exist on modern media websites and modern social media which gamify the experience of communicating with other people in the world. Increasingly, sites like Twitter and Reddit take the experience of the way we talk to each other online and try and turn those into like game hooks in order to keep us coming back and back and back. Generally, what that results in is increased friction, increased hostility, and that doesn't necessarily feel good. I don't want to spend time dunking on people simply because they exist. That leaves me with a hollowness and a dissatisfaction. But jumping into 8800 Blue Lick Road, where I got an experience to first take a home tour, which had this like strange, elaborate M.C. Escher Byzantine architecture in a house that made virtually no sense, with its like bright splashes of color amongst all of these like shelves of items that were marked for shipping, and like strange, shallow, filthy baptismal, complete with empty energy drink containers, is that I then got to jump into this collaborative experience where I spent time talking both with people I knew professionally, personally, and people I didn't know online, trying to piece together the mystery of this place. Why did the house look like that? Why did it have 2 separate basements? Why does it have commercial grade fire alarms? And digging through all of this created a sense of shared community and shared accomplishment. As I would get online and find out that another thing about the house was now understood, now revealed, another mystery would present itself. Items in the house that were visible on the shelves would unlock a new point of communication. And it was also a way to participate in live innovation. So often, the only way that we get to really experience iteration in a game is once the game is something which is, I guess, ready for consumption in somebody's eyes. And that sense of like rawness that you get from like watching musicians jam and like discover a song, or watching guys like drop some rhymes and they just come up with like a good line, like that kind of like instantaneous development feeling doesn't really exist in the game space except on like the bleary Monday morning after a weekend game jam. So like very often we don't get to be in that creative space as the thing is unfolding. But with 8800 Blue Lick Road, there were these various different components where something would happen with the way people were consuming it. And we would get to experience like the way that the community reacted to it and then built off of it. People enjoyed the physical space itself, and so they built a level for it in VR chat. People enjoyed the physical space itself, so they developed Quake mods for it and CSGO levels for it. So that way you could run around inside of the house shooting your friends. People enjoyed the idea of turning it into a competitive space. And so using the original online Realty website started speed running, getting to the baptismal. As more and more information came out about who it was that the guy who actually owned the house was, people developed a text-based multi-user dungeon for it. It was this giant collaborative space that offered us a fulfillment on the promise that maybe talking to people online isn't a bad thing. Maybe talking to people online can be fun. And that maybe the promise of turning virtually every website experience into some kind of game with hooks isn't toxic and isn't just designed to make us all obsessed. So it was one of those rare moments where the video game that is just endless engagement from a website didn't feel predatory and instead felt special.
Dope.
If it were any other year, I would definitely fight you on that not being a game, but because you brought this not game, I was able to bring my books, so I'm fine.
I contend that 88 Blue Lick Road is a game, maybe not in the traditional sense, but definitely one in practice.
I know that we had this conversation a couple years ago about like what is a game, and something which I think I didn't say enough of at the time is that conversation is ultimately reductive, and that the most important part about it is the interactivity of the experience. With virtually every other type of like art, the way you experience it is after the fact with a degree of passivity.
Mm-hmm.
You read a book that has already been written. You know, like the act of reading the book does not change or alter the experience. You watch a movie which has already been edited and filmed and special effects dropped in. You know, like your watching the movie does not ultimately change the experience, or your experience isn't touched by like interaction with it. Same goes for music. Like the driving thing about games is the interactivity. You know, like not whether or not they have a win condition, because if the question is like win condition, then, you know, you would like the argument, like, and I think always the best argument in this case is like saying, oh, well, then because you can ultimately never win like endless mode in Tetris, then is Tetris a game? Question mark. Of course Tetris is a game. No one would ever even begin to think to challenge the gaminess of Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
That the important thing is, does interacting with it and fundamentally change the experience? And that's why I think that stuff like 8800 Blue Lick Road and Blazeball are definitely video games.
I definitely think Blazeball is a video game. I still don't understand it. Like, I get it, but I don't get it, and I think I'll get it when I support a team, but like...
February 22nd.
Yep.
Yep. When the grand siesta ends. Hades is a roguelite which does something which I want more and more roguelites to do, which is that in the narrative play experience, acknowledge the player's death. So often when you play a game, whether or not it's a roguelite or a splatformer, the game doesn't necessarily acknowledge the frequency of your death. You know, like the only sign to the player that you die hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times in Super Meat Boy is your blood splattered all over the walls and the gears that exist within the stages. You know, when you finally get Bandage Girl, there's no acknowledgement narratively that you had to die hundreds of times to do it. So something that I really, really enjoyed about Hades, and something that I thought was a smart decision, was narratively making every death matter. When your character and the characters in the world around you acknowledge your death, then it kind of gives everything more teeth, which kind of gives you a narrative sense of urgency. So despite the fact that you do have the ability to grow stronger after every death, you still have this incentive to not necessarily want to die a whole bunch, because it gives you that like ants in the pants feeling. You're like, oh god, like the world knows when I die. I know when I die. Like, it doesn't have that same wiped slate feeling that something like a Dead Cells does.
Mm-hmm.
The characters give you an incentive to travel off the beaten path. The various boons which are on offer definitely support a wide variety of playstyles. One of the things that I mentioned in our Resident games was that I had a difficult time connecting with Bloodborne because essentially there are types of gameplay style which are like just prohibitively impossible to be supported in Bloodborne. But when you would have, like, say, a combination of Poseidon and Aphrodite's boons, then you could find yourself in a real good-ass place. There was something about those mixed boons, those hybrid boons, just seeing how they would work and, like, experiencing those combinations for the first time that were, like, really, really satisfying. Like, oh, this does this, but now it does this because of this. Oh, that's so great. Like, it felt really, really good. So, like, discovering new satisfying combinations felt great. The characterizations that were presented were all satisfying. The art kind of feels like Supergiant is kind of like landing on the summit of a path that they kind of like started with Transistor, where they're kind of going for this like Art Nouveau revival with like their character portrait style. And it really, really lands. Like, the art is all like just absolutely gorgeous to look at. The game never feels salacious in the way it portrays like the goings on of gods. So often when people tell stories about Greek gods, it feels like it's just kind of like an excuse to like wear a tuxedo t-shirt and nothing else. And Hades does not bring you that bullshit. It treats the material as something worth taking seriously, even though you're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all of these things, because of the deaths meaning something, because of all of the positive character portrayals, and because of the delight in discovering different power combinations, it's something that whether it takes you 15 times or 45 times, that first victory is going to feel real, real good. Man. It's a good-ass video game.
It is a good-ass video game.
It was a good-ass video game.
A really good-ass way to spend a bunch of time is with Nintendo when they getting weird.
Mm-hmm.
And Clubhouse Games, 51 Worldwide Classics, is exactly that. It kind of feels like, what if Nintendo got drunk at the mall, and then while they were drunk at the mall, went to the Apple Store and saw all of that, like, clean, sterile, white retail space. And then when they got back, to the home set, it was like, man, what if we made a game that was both really weird and also had a very clean and sterile presentation? And that's Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Like, the way it uses these little pieces to represent the people who teach you about the games, the kind of elegant, spare white backgrounds, the very, very, like, minimal music, all leads to, like, something which looks like a very, very minimal, toned-down presentation. But, like, as you keep on, like, poking at the package, it keeps on, like, exposing, like, little bits of weirdness here and there. Whether it might be a factoid that you reveal or additional music in one particular game that only plays under certain conditions. Like, when I realized that there was, like, late time chill music for playing Hanafuda,
right,
I was like, that's fucking hip. Because the game does not let you know that if you're playing Hanafuda after 1 a.m, there's going to be different music. It just is.
Mm-hmm.
And so that just feels like kind of like just that like endless fine-tuning for a package that Nintendo so often does well. The game does a really, really good job of showing you the complexity ceiling of all of these like superficially simple games which are included. I think the two big heroes of this package are the AI for Connect 4 and the AI for Dots and Boxes. Also, the way it teaches you various card games is nothing to sniff at either. All of the various card systems are explained elegantly and offer fantastic tutorial systems to be your training wheels, whether what you want to learn how to do is play Texas Hold'em or Hanafuda. The game is going to teach you card games. But discovering like the ceiling on games that initially would have you scoff at them is something very, very satisfying. In a year where one day would bleed into another, there was something that felt deeply, deeply satisfying about finding something that was easy to dismiss as simple, which eventually kicked your shit in, and then kicking its shit in, which, you know, I have to imagine is a lot like what it feels like when you fucking carve a duck, you know? Like, that sense of personal satisfaction, that sense of personal accomplishment, and in a year where we didn't summit a lot of mountains, this was a chance to summit a personal one. The other great thing is that on top of all of these, like, really elegant and really satisfying and really, really well thought out features for a single player experience, 51 Worldwide Classics also offers both local and online play. So if you want to hang out online and play Hanafuda or play Dots and Boxes with someone, you can. It's absolutely one of the single best multiplayer experiences available for the Nintendo Switch. You know, you probably have got like Smash.
Smash Online isn't good.
Smash Online is not good, but you know how those people are. Splatoon is good. Animal Crossing is good. And then I'd say there's this. It is definitely top tier multiplayer experience. In fact, I'm disappointed in myself that I haven't spent more time on this online with other people. Strong recommendation, weird Nintendo, and also a spare, elegant, clean Nintendo. Get drunk with a Nintendo at the mall.
All right. I mean, I know I said I was going to pick it up last week, but like, or the week before, but like, I guess I'm going to freaking pick it up.
Oh, get drunk with Nintendo at the mall was the thing that did it.
No. Honestly, it was the, hey, if you're playing at 1 a.m., the music is different. I was like, oh, like an Animal Crossing?
Actually, yeah, like an Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's not even every game in the package. It's only some of them. Like the little things that the game unlocks here and there, and it'll just let you know what it unlocks. It's like, hey, you've got different card backs now.
That's kind of cool.
Hey, you've got new pieces you can now.
That's cool.
Yep. And it just incentivizes you to just continue to like sit there poking at it. Oh, you've got some more slot cars for a slot car. Enjoy.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I do like subtle unlocking and not like the stress to unlock all of the things, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and kind of like to circle back to our NBA Jam conversation and Mortal Kombat conversation from Resident Games, we liked the idea of mysterious, unadvertised unlocks. You know, the idea that you just keep on poking at something, then you get something for poking at it. After we had that conversation, it kind of clicked for me that that was something that Clubhouse Games was doing. You would just keep on playing with this collection of games, and then it would tell you, like, oh, okay, well, you've now played this many of the games, so this is unlocked. Oh, you've beaten this many games on the hard difficulty, so now this is unlocked. Or you've spent so much time with a single game, so now here's the reward for it. Like, the things that it's looking for are different for each game, and it doesn't hang out a shingle anywhere. And I'm like, I'm sure I could somewhere at this point go online and find the exhaustive list of shit in Clubhouse Games and how to unlock them all. But you know what? I don't care. Like, that's not how I interact with it. You know, it's a much more laid back experience. And it's cool to just be sitting around fucking with it, and then something happens. Number one with a bullet, and like full disclosure, as we were going into recording, number 1 and 2 were transposed, but you know, when I looked inside, I had to switch them to be right with my heart, is Animal Crossing New Horizons. I spent so much time with this game this year. I spent an absolute ton of time and really had chances to like interact with Animal Crossing in ways that like I hadn't previously. It was nice to have projects within Animal Crossing. You know, it was good to be like, okay, I'm going to set out with X goal, and I'm going to accomplish X goal. You know, like I'm going to build a drive-in movie theater, and then do it. And it was cool too, like, you know, as I made my custom templates for the pavement pattern for my theater, and then hunted down a projector to see it all really come together. And then it's satisfying because drive-in movie theater isn't necessarily something that like is a set designed by Nintendo. So it meant like, repurposing some items like the race car beds and kind of like directing my own vision. And I think that one of the byproducts of the pandemic is that because people had so much time at home, there was a lot more of that kind of creative play with Animal Crossing this time around. Like, sure, people were swinging for like the low hanging fruit previously, like designing like clothing items and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now people would take like giant chunks of their island and be like, okay, I have a vision for this whole area. What do I have to do to make this vision come together? Like, what do I have to do to have a cool graveyard? Like, I enjoyed having an open grave and then putting a skull radio in the open grave. So that way, if somebody peers with the camera into the grave, there's a skull in there, but it meant that I could have like sad dirge music playing all the time in my graveyard. That felt cool. And like just those kind of like little design choices that were possible. Animal Crossing did a good job of not punishing players for time away. Animal Crossing's experience, I think, shared a lot this year with the 8800 Blue Lick Road experience, because there was a lot of the way that I touched Animal Crossing that was entirely contingent of like online community or collaborative experiences. Nookazon is not a thing that Nintendo officially offers, but a lot of my experience was guided by Nookazon. Nintendo does not have an officially offered cool video talk show that is entirely produced within Animal Crossing, but because of the pandemic, the world did. We had a talk show that was entirely produced within Animal Crossing, and seeing that cool talk show come out each week from Gary Whitta, kind of like lit a fire under my ass as far as like Animal Crossing being a creative space. It incented me to, get in there and do cool stuff, and it was fun to kind of like double check and measure certain things about our respective experiences, like against each other. Like it certainly seemed like, I can't remember which one of the two of you it was, but it seemed like one of you had like red coming by like all the fucking time. But it also seemed like I had meteor showers at least 3 or 4 times more frequently than both of you.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That also like incentivized like more shared play experiences. It was a game that was lifted by the ways that it offered to hang out with other people. Animal Crossing was the silliest and cutest way to get together and have a beer with friends this year, and I appreciate it for that. I'm pleased and happy to repeat the news that we have in fact caught and killed a large predator that supposedly injured some bathers. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. The beaches are opened, and people are having a wonderful time. Amity, as you know, means friendship.
What the heck? Is the town called Amity or something?
Amity Island.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, gotcha.
So everyone, this has been our show. It's called Impossible Coin. We do it every week. You can find us wherever podcasts are found. We're mostly on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Guys, can you hit on one time for me?
Fuck SoundCloud!
Speaking of SoundCloud, the music at the beginning and end of this podcast was produced by Big Sach. You can find his work on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/BigSachNJ. And maybe drop him a line on Twitter at Hillary_Swank. Our logo is also a t-shirt. It was designed by Lauren Moran. You can find her on Twitter at Lauren Moran, and consider donating to her Patreon. She does the good work. And speaking of Patreon, we have one of those too. You can find us at patreon.com/ImpossibleCoinPodcast. There you'll find our audio essays, premium watch-alongs, and us talking about things that we care about, like video games, but also anime and wrestling, soon to come. If you want to talk to us directly, you can find us on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Brian's on Twitter, Tegan's on Tumblr. It's all Impossible Coin. No X's or underscores or dashes or anything weird like that. But that's us. That's the show.
It's true. And this week's episode was brought to you in part by the Mountain Dew Chic Hydrobot.
Oh my god.
But even though that Mountain Dew Shake Hydro Bud is great and it does dispense Doritos, we would rather you maybe consider with this episode enjoying a glass of wine.
Is it going to be one that they brew themselves out of Mountain Dew?
It could conceivably do that, but allow me to offer a different possibility. Allow me to offer the possibility that what they do is instead take a 64-ounce container of Welch's white grape juice and put in a single pack of the special hyperactivated yeast from our friends at Bruzy in that container and let it ferment for 2 days. And then on the third day, pulling out the awesome provided bubble stopper that Bruzy sends you with your starter kit and putting in a gallon-sized black tea bag from Lipton and then adding on top of the sugar that you already had on day one to your taste level, 3 ounces of raw honey, and then allowing it to ferment for an additional 3 days. Now, I know normally I talk about how you can brew with Bruzy for just 3 days, but I'm talking about a 5-day brew here because you want to allow the yeast to eat that raw honey and give that black tea time to really release the tannins into the grape juice. And what you're going to have at the end of 5 days of fermenting is a wine mead hybrid. You're going to cold crash that for 2 days. And you know what's going to happen, Rocky? You know what's going to happen, Tegan?
What's going to happen?
It's going to taste fucking delicious.
Is that a promise?
It is a promise. It's 64 ounces of white grape juice from Welch's with sugar to your taste level for 2 days, then adding a gallon-sized Lipton's black tea bag and 3 ounces of raw honey, fermenting for another 3 days, and then cold crashing for 2 days and racking to your heart's content. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be delicious, and you can get the ball rolling at bruzy.refr.cc/impossiblecoin to get 15% off your order.
The link is also in our link tree.
The link is in the link tree. Well, I guess that has been some top fives.
Yeah, and if you want to hear more about our top fives, like our big in-depth discussion on most of these games, I recommend you check out the previous 2 episodes. Because it is 7 total hours of us literally talking about video games.
It's true.
So, like, that's where all the big, deep, juicy info is, if you're looking for that.
We really let it dangle. I think that the next episode will be what so many of you want, the possibility of a knife fight. I don't anticipate a knife fight, but I suppose one could break out.
I feel like I need to bring a knife just in case.
It's always a good idea to carry a knife.
I'm not a fool.
I think that it could just end up being that scene from Wonder Woman 1984 where Kristen Wiig just kicks a man to death.
Oh, that sounds great.
You know. You heard it here first, folks. Kicking a man to death is great.
Yeah, it is. It's how you get out that aggression. Work out your glutes. I do not say this from experience.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.
It's official.